Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cam's Corner. I'm your host, as always, Camden Riviere. Today, we have kind of a special episode. I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys to work on different things, so I'm trying to get through them one at a time. Today, I had a request to talk about volley return to serve. Not necessarily off of railroads, but just in general, with where do you stand when you volley return to serve, how do you swing at that ball, and all of those different types of things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing is your positioning on court when you're returning serve. I like to think of it as a box. You want to make a little bit of a square between you and the side wall and the back wall, okay? And that is your spot. That is your ready position. And if you need a visual guide for that, it's generally in line with the corner of the date-on on the other end. So you should see yourself looking down straight across the court and being just inside the date-on. And that'll allow you to know where your spot is, how wide you should be from that penthouse. One of the biggest misconceptions in real tennis is that you need to stand very close to the penthouse. And what happens when you stand very close to the penthouse is that that ball will bounce and bounce out to you. And that doesn't allow you to step into that ball. It forces you to open up away from the ball. So by starting further away from that penthouse, we're giving ourselves the room required to actually step in to that ball when we go to hit it, okay? It also allows us to move backwards to get to the back wall if all of a sudden we aren't going to volley that return to serve. So that's where our positioning is on court, okay? Now, how do we swing at this cut volley? Obviously, it depends what serve's being hit down to you, but we're going to talk about a general high drop or high sidewall or giraffe coming through. And how we start is, same as always, racket back first. We're going to stay sideways facing that penthouse. Okay? We want to give ourselves enough room to step towards that ball as it comes down. And what that means is that as that ball is coming down, hitting sidewall, hitting penthouse, we're trying to time it so that it drops into what I like to call the strike zone. We've talked about the strike zone before on ground strokes, and it's a little imaginary box, which is where you want to make contact. That box on a cut volley just gets lifted slightly higher to about head height, face height. That's where you want that contact to be on your cut volley. And what you're constantly doing as that serve's coming in is gauging where on the penthouse it's going to bounce, how far away you need to be to let that ball hit and not take it necessarily at its peak, but take it when it drops into that strike zone of head height. From there, as that ball comes off, we actually want to be far enough away to step towards the ball, diagonally, just like we do all of our shots, diagonally towards the ball. We want our contact to actually be very deep, more on that back shoulder of our swing. We're hitting around through that ball. You can see that my chest is still sideways facing the penthouse, right? My hips and everything are still turned going towards the penthouse and allowing that swing to come through the ball, right? Contact at head height, and then coming around and down and then pulling across with our hips, okay? So everything's working in motion together. Starting up, we're stepping diagonally across. We make our contact at head height, deepen our stance, pulling across and down. Okay, that deep contact also allows us to be strong and use our chest to stay on top of that ball. The further out in front you get with your contact, the more open that chest is going to be, and the more that racket's going to want to pull down. And that's going to cause us to either hit the ball into the net or to float that cut volley deep into the back wall. We want to combine all of these elements. All right, and that ball's not always going to just fall into your lap into the strike zone. So even though this is your ready position with your square, as soon as they hit that serve, you're always moving, adjusting, getting yourself into position so that when that ball comes in, it's always in the same spot so you can get it in that strike zone. Now I'm going to give you a drill that you can do on your own to work on this. And it's a very simple drill. You come out on your own, you grab a couple balls, okay? And all you're going to do is throw that ball up onto the roof, let it come down, and as it comes down, you're going to cut volley it in. Or if you want to make it tougher, you can throw it up and hit the sidewall, just so you can get practice with that. Now, I'm going to do this left-handed, just as I need the practice of my backhand. So we throw that ball up, we wait, okay? And you can see that I'm letting that ball drop quite far off the penthouse before I make my contact, right? And then holding on with my hips and my shoulders until that ball makes contact with my strings to allow the body to turn and rotate through to get my power, okay? We'll do another one. Okay, ball comes down, right? So you see how I'm holding through that swing, right? Everything's going towards that ball, down and across, okay? So get out there, try it on your own, talk to your professional. This is a very hard shot to learn, and I don't recommend you just going off of this video to get out there and try it. Go talk to your professional about it, take a lesson on how to cut volley, right? He may tell you you're not there yet, he may be quite happy to, but trust what he says and listen to him. He's going to give you a lot of the same points I have today, but he's going to help you work specifically with your swing to get this down. And then from there, you come out for your solo practice, and after that, you can start to work on bringing it out in a match. Thanks, guys.